guys, this is Nate with another Backcountry beer review. If you can read English anyway, you can probably tell that I am on top of Eagle Peak in the Gila National Forest. We're almost at 10,000 feet. It is beautiful up here. I mean, there's no tree coverage at the top because it's a lookout, and I can see, most of southwestern New Mexico. Just stunning, really stunning views of this southwestern New Mexico high country, Gila area, kind of looking out Apache Kid and whatnot. Just beautiful country. Happy to be here. Was able to drive up most of the way, but the lookout is still closed for the season, so I had to walk up half a mile, 3/4 of a mile. Not the most compelling hike, but definitely the view is pretty spectacular. Beer I'm reviewing today by a Backcountry beer review favorite. It is by Gravity Bound Brewing in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is their Proof of Life Vienna style lager. Of course, right now it's late April, but when this video airs, it will be hashtag Lager Summer 2024. Of course, if you're familiar with this channel, you know what that is, but if you aren't, basically during the period of astronomical summer, so late June to late September, I exclusively review lager style beers, and I tend not to review lagers during the other times of year. This makes for some challenges because, a lot of times I'll see a lager and I'll be like, man, I really want to review that, but it's like January, so I'm going to tuck it away in my fridge. And that's kind of what I did with this one. I think I bought this a little over a month ago in early March and just had it in my fridge waiting to review it here. So of course I love Gravity Bound. Pretty much all their beer is awesome. I would say they pretty much specialize in three main styles. I would say IPAs, which everybody makes IPAs, but they really focus on IPAs, European style lagers, and sours. So I think after reviewing this, I'll have reviewed all three of that category. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, there's really nothing on the can. So let's crack this open and give it a taste. Okay, it's time for a sip. It's a classic Vienna style lager for sure. It has those noble hops, those continental, it has that continental lager flavor. I would say versus a lot of Vienna lagers that I have, this one definitely leans a little bit into the bitter side. So to start from the beginning, it's definitely hits those classic continental lager notes. It is crispy, it is biscuity, it is crackery, especially crackery. Crackery. To me, it tastes like a really good slice of German rye bread. That dark rye bread. It has some residual sweetness to me, especially drinking it right now at home. I would probably have said less so, but now I'm definitely getting a lot of that residual sweetness. Now, of course, that's all perception based, right? Versus a pastry stout or something that might be very minimal, but definitely for the style, I think it's prominent. It's not sweet, but it's prominent. The bitterness I'm getting, it's just that noble hop bitterness combined with the kind of caramelly baked bread flavor of the beer itself from the malts. I'm kind of getting that burnt caramel a little bit, that creme brulee crust. I'm getting definitely herbaceousness and a little bit of even vegetal on that hop flavor. To me, the beer, aside from having these bready notes, does have this slight floral quality, I always kind of think of chamomile or dandelion. And with that vegetal note, to me, it's very reminiscent of eating a dandelion top. I'm going to take another sip. To me, it has this it does have this just malty flavor. And obviously that's a note that I hate to use, because obviously most beers are 4 ingredients: beer or water, hops, malt, yeast. And so saying, well, it tastes like malt doesn't really narrow it down, but anybody who's ever brewed beer, who's tasted malt syrup or eaten spent grains that you brewed to make the wort, and now you're fermenting that and you have the leftover grains. Anybody who's done that knows that flavor. It's almost like a cereal flavor. And slightly sweet, slightly syrupy. I'm getting a little bit of that, I think, towards the end. I'm not sure how much else there is to say about this beer. This is something I could drink several of. Very, very good. Like I said, more bitter, I think, than a typical Vienna lager that I have, and I like that. I really like that. I'm curious to know what the IBUs are. I don't think it says on the cans, but I'm gonna guess in like the 20s. Fantastic beer. Happy lager summer, guys. Cheers, and have a backcountry beer for me.